welcome to the Hooked on Needles Craftcast. My name is Maricela, or Mari if you prefer. Today is February 12th, 2019. And did I say this is episode 38? Because I was like, oh, it's episode 35. What? Nope, episode 38. Okay, so episode 38. I hope you have all been doing well. I have quite a bit to show you guys. I'm sorry, my forehead got itchy. I have quite a bit to show you guys this episode. So let's jump in. If you want to grab a beverage of your choice, please do so. I myself am drinking some coffee with almond milk. My husband thinks that's weird that I like my coffee with almond milk, but I do. I much rather have it with almond milk. One of my friends is always trying to get me to try different flavored creamers, like caramel or I don't know, all different types, and I'm like, no, just some almond milk please. And she's like, but are you sure you don't want to try this one? And I'm like, no, I just want my almond milk please. So yeah, maybe one day I'll say yes, but up until now I'm like, I'm good with almond milk, thank you. But she still tries. So cheers. Okay, so finished objects. I have quite a few. I finally finished these things, these beauty socks. I say things because I was knitting on these for like ever. But I finally finished them. I'm so excited to finally wear them. I haven't worn them yet. And I think I had mentioned that I was going to try something new with the heel, where I was going to use bigger needles for the heel to kind of help loosen the tension of the yarn in the sock. So yeah, and so I am done with these, ready to wear. And I also I really liked working with Andy's yarn from 10,000 Stitches. And here is her label. This is all that is left of the yarn that I had before, because I turned them into some socks. Another pair besides my drippity drop. I don't know, whatever it's called. Drippity drop, I think. But she has a pattern out. Andy does. She's got two patterns out, I should say. One of them is called Sock Mod, heel tab for short socks, which is just a modification of the sock. And then the Exceedingly Vanilla heel. The Exceedingly Vanilla sock, which from that pattern I used the heel for these socks. So I used three patterns because for the toes I used K. Jones umbrella toes. So first I started off with the mod sock up here, and what her pattern does is it gives you a little tab for when you are wearing your socks with your sneakers. Then it has this little tab that you can pull, or just to help kind of secure it, I guess. I'm not sure. But I wanted to try them just because it looked interesting, so I did that. I do have both of the socks. And then I used 2mm needles for the socks, but I did use 2.5mm for the heel, just because, like I said, I've been wanting to see if maybe that makes a difference on my socks. So that's what I did with these. And then, like I said, I finished them with the umbrella toes. And yeah, and I actually, these I closed off just like you would the top of a hat. And these I did a Kitchener stitch, which just looked weird to me, which is why I ended up closing this one off differently. But they fit fine, so we'll see if that really has anything to do with the way you close your sock, if it wears differently or something. I'm not sure, but we'll see. So highly recommend these patterns. Like I said, Andy has both the heel tab and the Exceedingly Vanilla. The Exceedingly Vanilla, these are free on her blog. Gives you a garter edge, so then you pick up on a garter for the decreases and stuff, which I thought was pretty awesome. I had never worked it before, so I learned how to do the tab and then that with the heel, difference in the heel, and yeah, so I really loved her yarn, and I don't think she's dying right now, but I'm hoping she'll put some out there, because one of my sisters saw the yarn and she really liked the stellina in it. Is it stellina? Yeah, stellina. And so I think I would like to make my sister a pair of socks with stellina. So I will have to go looking for some. I keep putting them over there, but they're over here. And then I used, my daughter, her best friend moved away at the end of last year. And so, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm like touching my face so much. Okay. Yeah. My daughter's friend moved away last year, and so they are missing each other all the time. And I was talking to my daughter and I was like, you know what, why don't you get a little care package for her going, and then we can send it out. And she was like, okay, I could do that. So she's gotten a few little things, and then she was like, do you think you could make her an amigurumi? And I was like, of course I can. Amigurumis are like my thing. I love them. I was like, sure. So I was like, well, do you want to find a pattern on Etsy, or do you want to go through my patterns and see what I have and, you know, decide from there? And so she was going through my patterns, and I got these from Teresa's crochet shop. I don't remember when, but she was having a sale, and so I got a few of her patterns, and she decided on Sammy the Sloth for her friend. Oh. And Sammy is all scratched through because we are dog sitting, and one of the dogs' name is Sammy, and my son just wanted to point out that it's the same name. So there we go. It is, for those of you who have made amigurumis before, it is a quite simple pattern. You end up with the cutest little thing, which is what I ended up with. And so here it is. My daughter chose out of my scraps that I had. I know it's Red Heart Super Saver. And it's like a pink peach color. But it's so adorable. I did end up practicing my embroidery skills on just like some random stuff because I'm not very good at making the faces for the amigurumis. So I wanted to try, and so I did practice, but I think it came out well. And you end up sewing the arms together so that they can just hang on to wherever you want to put them. The pattern calls for you to use a 4mm hook, which is what I used for this one. But I feel like the stitches are quite open. So I wanted to just see how much of a difference it would make if I made one in a 3.5 millimeter hook. And as you can see, there is the slightest difference in the just how tighter the stitches are and everything. So if I make them again, I think I will be using the 3.5 millimeter hook, just because I like my stitches to be closer. So I did end up making 2 of them. I did mess up on the eyes in this one. As you can see, they're supposed to be like this. And I actually did not want to, the pattern, do you see this? That's on there, which maybe I shouldn't be telling you because it's a paid for pattern, but whatever. Anyways, I didn't want to do that. I was like, no, that's just too much. I don't want to do it. But then it just didn't look right without it. So I was like, fine, I'll do it. And then I ended up loving it. So I did end up doing it to both of them. Just doing that little stitch. I think it's called a back stitch or something. But yeah, so here you go. So one of them will be going to the friend and the other one will be staying home with us. So that is that. And she has an Etsy shop. So Teresa's Crochet Shop, if you do want to get that pattern. And then I was thinking that what was she gonna hang it on? So I decided, why not make her a little garland? And so I did. And this this pattern I got from the book that is called Beyond the Square Crochet Motifs. I've talked about it before. I have it as an ebook. So I will put a picture of it here. And this is motif on page 85. And it's just these cute little flowers. Trying to show you without being rude. So yeah, it's just these little flowers, and I just made them, I think, in 5 or 6 different colors, and then just put them together. I just did a regular crochet stitch, but here they are, all pretty like. And yeah, I had a bit of fun just getting all of them done. And you know, it's kind of a repetitive thing, but I find it relaxing. I think that's why I crochet and knit, because it's quite relaxing just kind of sitting there doing the same movement. So yeah, so as you can see, here it is, the little garland. And I told her that she could hang it on there if she wanted to. So that is going to my daughter's friend. And then I kind of fell into, I just ended up like going crazy and making a lot of little mandalas. So I have a few to show you. They all came from this book, Mandalas to Crochet, which someone had pointed out that, well, they asked, like, is it good for beginners with graphs? And I was like, yes, because it has both written instructions and graphed instructions. So if you are not confident in any of them, in either reading the pattern or reading the charts, I would say this would be a great book for you to learn, because it has both of them. So if that's something that you want to do, then I highly recommend it. And let me show you my little parade of mandalas. This one is called Layers and Loops. It is on page 88. If you hear a little bit of snoring, I am dog sitting, and that is Hershey. He is quite loud in his sleep. Anyways, this is the Layers and Loops, and it is so adorable. I had to hold the gray and the cream color double Oh, actually all of it is double now that I think about it. I held all of it double because this yarn was really, really thin. Did I hold it double? Now I don't remember. I think I did. Because it's quite thin yarn, this one. So I think I did hold it double, but whatever. Anyways, this is the little mandala. It is so adorable. My sister already called dibs on it, so that's going home with her. And then I also made this one, which I think would look great as like a dream catcher. And this one is called Lovely Lace. And yeah, like putting it on the embroidery hooks, I think would look really nice to just like hang on your wall or something. Look at that. It's so pretty. And then this one is called Make It Pop. This, oh, sorry. The Lovely Lace is on page 58 if you want to make it. And the Make It Pop is on page 68. And this is Make It Pop. And the pattern, this outside line would also be white, but I ran out of it. So I just kind of put on that one, and I still love it. I think it's quite nice. And it does pop with that edge being a little bit different color. So here it is. It's so pretty. I loved it. I love them. I love them all. I can't even say which one I like the most. This one is called Flirty Fifties, and I just realized that that's the one that's on the cover right here. This one's Flirty Fifties, this one right here in the background. And this one actually calls for more than what I actually did. So I ended on this row right here after this like fan right here. I stopped there because it just didn't seem like I was going to like it being all like that. And I guess like now thinking about it, it might have had something to do with my color choices, but I still love the end product. So this is my Flirty Fifties. And as you can see, I use black, and not a lot of people would use black for a little mandala, but I think it really makes the other colors pop more, like the lighter colors here and the orange there. So I really love it. I believe I will be keeping this one. And yeah, I'm happy with it. I love it. And so that was something that I modified there. And I think that is something that I really like about these little mandalas, is that you are able to modify it if you want to. So this one I also modified. This one is called Tulips from Amsterdam. It is on page 72. And this is what it's supposed to look like. And so I'm going to point out the edging right here. It calls for a lot more picots and stuff. I did not do that. I did do picots, but I didn't do that many. So this is mine. And as you can see, it's gorgeous. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And the picots, I just did picots like every 5th or 6th stitch or something like that. Just because I did start making the one that the pattern called for, but it just seemed like way too much for what it was. I didn't really like it. So I was able to do that. And the book does tell you, like at the beginning, she does mention that, I think it's a she that is the author. I'm not even sure about this. But anyways, the author does tell you, they give you different border stitches and all that. So if you want to make your own, design your own little mandala, they give you the tools to do that. So yeah, can't say enough good things. The only downside to this book is that it's not even my book. I borrowed it from my friend. So downside is I have to give it back, which I might do this week. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to order it for myself because I really, really enjoyed that book. And those are gonna go along with some of these little cacti that I made for my neighbors. I am giving them these for Valentine's Day along with a little mandala. So that is done, which I'm happy about because I wasn't able to give them their Christmas stuff. And then I also got to work, which this project had me like so stressed out. Like thinking about it, I'm stressed out. Because it's quite a task to get done within a 2.5 week period. I think it was 2.5 weeks. That's like me, you know, putting a longer stretch on it. I think it might have been 2 weeks, but I'm not sure. I made this scarf, which is called the Frango Sampler Scarf by Stacey Perry of Very Pink. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I don't have the scarf with me. I actually made it for my brother. My sister called and was like, guess what? I got time off approved, so I'm gonna go to Mexico in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And I was like, what? And my brother called and he was like, hey, so our sister's coming. Do you think she'll be able to bring my scarf? And I was like, of course she will. I just have to find it. Like, it's done. Don't you worry. You'll have your scarf. Because in the summer of 2018, I had talked to him and he was telling me that it gets cold in Mexico and he would really like to have a double thick scarf. So I was like, double thick. So basically you want me to knit a tube. And he was like, yeah, and can you use like the thinner yarn because then it's not so heavy? And I was like, geez, you're not asking for much, right? But I was like, you know what? I'll think about it and that's fine. So I had tried to make the Frango scarf for my husband before. And when he told me this, I knew that that was the scarf that I wanted to make for him as well. Of course, using different colors. I did end up using the same yarn, though. I used loops and threads, wool-like yarn, and I held it double. So that it would be a little bit thicker because it is quite thin yarn. And so I was able to finish that, and I was really proud of myself. But I was just knitting on that thing for like a week nonstop before I got tired of it. And then I was like, I want nothing to do with the scarf. I just need a break. And so then that's why I picked up this, because I was like, that's something quick that I can get done. And it's going to take my mind away from the scarf. So I actually only crocheted, I think it was these two. At first, I don't even know. I don't even remember. I think it was these two. Might have been these two. But anyways, so I ended up making those. And so then I went back to the scarf, finished the scarf. And like, I think it was like 2 hours before my sister showed up to pick it up and drop off the dogs. I was still like doing the finishing work on there. So I was able to do the fringe and everything. And I loved it. I loved the way it came out. I didn't love the time frame that I had to work on it, but the finished product I think was amazing. And what made me feel even better was that later on my brother called, and he called just to say thank you, but it was like the most sincere thank you I have heard in such a long time. I felt like he came through the phone, gave me a hug, and said thank you for my scarf. Like, that's how much his thank you meant to me, I guess. And I felt like he really appreciated it. And he was like, oh my gosh, I love it. The stitch work is so nice. Like, I can't even believe that you got it done in that time frame. And I was like, what are you talking about? I totally got it done. Which I didn't, but you know, I mean, he knows now, but yeah. And so he's like, oh, and it totally passed the ultimate test because it's freezing down here, and I just, you know, he gets up early to go to work or whatever. He's like, and I did not get cold at all. It was super snuggly and warm. He's like, I love it. It's officially my favorite scarf. And I was like, okay, great. I was like, well, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad it's being useful for you. Which is like the biggest reward, I think, as a maker for our loved ones, like that they actually use the stuff that we're making for them and appreciate it. So yay. Although I did ask my sister, I'm not sure if she's gonna do it or not, but I was like, hey, if the kids want and my brother wants and my sister-in-law want, you can get you can get their feet outlined so I can make them socks. So we'll see if she comes back with those. I would be more than happy to make socks for them. I have to be honest that I do feel a little bit like lost. Like I don't know where to go from here, because last year, with me giving myself the task of making socks for everybody in my family, I felt like I had, you know, I was working towards something. But right now, with me thinking, no, I just kind of want to relax this year, I feel like I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should make a sweater for myself, if I should stick to just making socks for myself, or like I'm kind of like feeling very limbo-y, just because I don't know what to work on or what to do. So I guess I realized that I am better at having a goal, rather than just kind of floating by. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, yeah, so he was able to get his scarf. And then the other thing that, as you can see, I am wearing and I am loving is my derecho by Laura Ayler. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I finally finished it and I am loving it. Ooh. I am loving it, loving it, loving it. Like, as much as you think you can love something, I love it more. Like, I'm loving it. It is so warm and cozy and big. And it's just keeping me toasty. Like right now, I opened up the window because I love the rain and it was raining outside. And I love to just listen to the rain. So I opened up the window. So it's a little brisk in here. But I'm not cold because I have my derecho. So yay. Anyways. I used Malabrigo sock for the yellow and the gray, which is, this is what I had left. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make with them because I believe, actually I don't know, never mind. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna make with this. I was thinking a hat, but then I thought it would be way too matchy. I don't know. So anyways, that is what I had left. And then this is what I had left of the green. Just this. That's all I had. And this is Madeline Tosh. Also some sort of sock. And I remember that that one has BFL in it. Which I think I had mentioned that I think it's a little bit rougher than the merino. The merino is super soft. So I wasn't really sure if I was gonna like it along with these, but you can't even tell. Okay, maybe you can tell a little bit, but still, with this like finished, it's just beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. I did end up changing it a little bit from what the pattern said, because along the top border right here, the pattern tells you to pick up like extra stitches. So you're supposed to end up with like, I don't know, like 350 stitches or something like that. But I didn't want to do that because I didn't think I was gonna have enough yarn, which now I'm glad I did, because that tiny bit of green is all I had left once I was done binding off with this. So I feel like that was a good call. I ended up just picking up a stitch per color, I believe. Like for the changes, I would just pick up in those changes. So I think I ended up with like 100 stitches less than what she called for, but it's fine. It works. It still looks good. It's not like tightening it up or anything. It's nice and relaxed. And actually, some of my bind off, I think, was a little bit too loose in some spots. I wasn't being super consistent with my tension as I bind off, so some of it is a little wonky. But yeah, I love it. It's so beautiful. I seriously love the end product. I'm so glad I made it. It took forever because everything else got done, you know, but it was worth it. It was worth the wait and the actually finishing it. And like I said, now I'm wearing it and it's super cozy and I love it. So yay! That's like my biggest woo of this podcast, of this episode. And yeah, so like I said, I don't know what to do next. I am working on some stuff. I am hoping that by the next episode, I don't know if I've said this before, but I am hoping that I'll be done with these. These are the toe up totem socks, and I want to be done. I want to be done with these. I want to be sending them over to my niece, and just so that she gets to wear them and looking all cute in them and whatever, because she will look adorable in these. So I'm hoping to finish these. I think I'm going to do maybe like 3 more repeats and then do the ribbing. So hopefully those will be done by next episode. But who knows? Stuff might happen. And then I have been bugging my husband to let me make him socks. And he's like, woman, I get hot. Why do you want to make me some wool socks? And I'm like, husband, I have heard from quite a few podcasters who knit socks for their husbands that the husbands love the end result and then ask them for more socks. And he's like, do you really want me to ask you for more socks? Do you realize what you are saying? Now, he says this because I feel like we all have a thing, you know. I have to close all of the cabinets in the kitchen. If the drawer is a little bit open, I have to get up and close it. That's like a thing I have. I don't know what you call that, but it's a thing. So with my husband, he has a thing with socks. He doesn't like his socks being wet. Like if he goes to work and he was sweating for a little bit, he will change them during lunch and then continue on working. Socks in his work backpack to make sure that he has enough socks. Socks are his thing. So when he was telling me this, he was like, are you sure that you want to go down this road? And I was like, I am willing to see. Yes, I'm willing to go down this road. So he finally said yes. And so I just cast on. I'm doing them with Payton's Croy in the woodsy color. I have seen so many people use this color. I got mine at Hobby Lobby. But I have seen so many people use this color and turn out so beautifully. So I got those. I am using 2 skeins of it because since he's got bigger feet, I am not risking running out of yarn. So I cast on this weekend. And yeah, I was like, just let me do it. Just let me do it. So I'm so excited that I finally get to make him some socks. I am doing a 72 stitch, and in the top part I'm doing a 3x1 rib, and bottom is just knit. And so yay, I'm so excited. He finally said yes, and I'm excited for him to try them, and hopefully he will like them, and I will gladly make him some more pairs of socks. But I told him he has to earn his way to nicer yarn because, you know, it's a bit expensive for a pair of socks. And so that is all I have to show you guys. Oh, I did skein up some of this yarn. This is Yarn Habits yarn. I'm not sure if she's still selling it on Etsy or not. She had a trunk show at one of the local yarn shops. I think it was last year or the year before. And when she was at the trunk show, I was not here. I was in Chicago. So it was like 2 years ago. And so I wasn't able to go to the show and meet her, which kind of bummed me out. But I did end up going to the shop afterwards, and she had some there. She had left some. So I was like, yay, I get to get some. So I got this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful green. And this is the Taz colorway, by the way. And it's just beautiful greens. I love it. And so with this, I'm going to make myself some more of the tab shorties, and hopefully another pair of something else, but I'm not sure what. And so, yeah. And then I have some yarn to show you guys, because the lovely Megan of Toe Creations posted that she was dyeing up some honey colorway after 2 years of not dyeing that colorway. And I was so glad that she did. And she tagged me, and I was like, good move, Megan, good move, because I really couldn't resist myself. I loved the way that it knit up for my father-in-law socks. And so as soon as she posted it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even. So I ordered it. And so I got it. So this is Toe Creations. This is the colored honeydew. It is a 75 merino, 25 nylon. And there are approximately 437 yards. And so, yeah, so I just couldn't help myself. This beauty had to come home. And you know how like when you order stuff, you're like, well, if I'm going to order and pay shipping, I might as well get something else. So I ended up getting the Frostbite colorway in her footsie base, which is a 80% Highland wool and 20% polyamide. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's so cute. Look at all those speckles. Beautiful, beautiful speckles. I'm loving it. So I couldn't help myself. I ended up getting both of these. And I'm not sorry. Although I do really like working from my stash. But then I realized, like, I do have some stash that I don't want to use for certain things. Like, I have some cashmere blends that I don't want to put on my feet. I would rather make, like, a shawl out of it or something, like, so, yeah. Anyways, but I also wanted to show you this because I hadn't shown it to you a while ago. The lovely Yolanda of Happy Knits sent me a little package, and in it came a cute little notions pouch that she made me, which I don't know where it is right now. It's in one of my bags. But she also sent me this beautiful, beautiful yarn by Panorama, and it is the Hitchhiker sock. It is there it is, 75% merino and 25 nylon, and there are 460 yards in this. And this colorway is the Heart of Texas, and I don't know what to do with this yarn because I take it out of my stash, I'll hold it, and I'm like, what do you want to be? And it just, I think it's too precious that I don't want to use it, but I like it so much that I do want to use it. So it's like this conflicting thing within me. So I don't know. I thought about it becoming some socks and maybe getting like contrast heels and toes. But at the same time, I really like it, and it's really beautiful colors. Totally America right here, not just Texas. But I don't know what I would make with it. I thought about maybe getting like a solid color and making a 2-color shawl with it. I don't know, but I love it. I really, really love it. And thank you so much, Yolanda. I did say thank you to you, but seriously, thank you, because it's so beautiful and I love it. And I love it so much, I don't know what to do with it. Does that make sense? Anyway, so here is the heart of Texas, and we'll see what this becomes. But I'm very excited to work with all of these yarns, and I kind of have a little question for you guys, because I was debating whether to show you the yarns or not. And like I said, I hadn't shown you guys this in a really long time. I've had it for a while now, because I don't know how you guys feel about the yarn showing. Do you want to see the yarns that I get and then possibly go and get the same yarns if you guys end up liking the colors? Or do I wait and then show them to you once I'm using them, because then you actually get to see them and I actually get to tell you like, oh, this yarn was really nice to work with, or you know what, it was really splitty, or whatever the criticism of the yarn is going to be, in my opinion. But I am having conflicting thoughts with that too, because like I can see the benefits of waiting and the benefits of telling you right off the bat. Like right now, me showing you this from Megan, if you guys want these colors and you go and get them, you might go and find them right now. But like for this one that has been in my stash for a while, if you guys want to go and get this exact yarn, then you might not be able to, because it's been in my stash for a while. So I don't know what to do. I get so conflicted with it, because I also feel like just showing you guys when I buy them, like, I mean, I bought it, it's beautiful yarn, but I'm not using it right now. So what do we do? So please leave in the comments and just let me know your thoughts, what you think about that, because it would really help me kind of balance me in my head. And like this one too, of Yarn Habits, like I said, I've had it in my stash for a while. I think I did show it to you guys when I got it, but I mean, it's been in there for like 2 years. So, you know, like I said, right now, I don't know if she's dying or if you guys will be able to get this colorway, if you guys liked it or what, but I think it's so beautiful. So yeah, just let me know. Let me know what you guys think. And that's all I have for you guys this episode. Thank you very much for all of you who have been with me forever. I greatly appreciate you guys. And for any new viewers, hello and welcome. I hope you enjoyed the episodes. I hope to see you guys hopefully. Just a quick side note. Have any of you ever heard of Word Girl, a cartoon show on PBS? We are always joking about like which character we would be. And I am proud to say that I would be Lady Redundant Woman, because I realize that I repeat myself all the time. No need for it, but it's just a thing I do. I guess it's one of my things. So I hopefully hope to see you soon, within the next month. I will say March, but hopefully before then, I don't know. I feel like I kind of did a lot of stuff within this period of the last episode. So maybe I'm gonna kind of relax for a little while. Oh, I did want to show you this. I don't know if I did show it or not, but this is the Close to You shawl that I made for my sister. And then look, can you see it? Hello! She has a hole in it. And actually it had more holes in it. And I fixed those, but she's like, I think I cut it with the scissors, I'm not sure. And this hole is like way cut. Look at that. Like there's more than 2 little strands there. So I was trying to think of how to fix it, if maybe I should like knit up a little swatch and put it on there, or if I end up just kind of darning it, because it's a shawl, so like she could put it on either way, and then I'm supposed to hide it, and I don't know how to do it. So I don't know what to do. I don't even know where the yarn is. I did have some left over, which I think I could knit a little swatch, like I said, but I don't know. So I'm a little bummed about that. She gave it to me a couple months ago, and I still haven't fixed all of it because I was just feeling so down and like pity for myself. Like, look at what she did. But it's okay. I will be able to fix it because she needs it back. She's been asking for it, and I'm like, I haven't fixed it. Sorry. So yeah, but now this really is all I have. Thank you so much. I hope to see you guys soon. Take care. Hasta la próxima.